Hello, beautiful moms. My name is Sharice Walker, and I am beyond thrilled to welcome you to the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. This is a place where we come together to learn, grow, and inspire one another. I am so excited to share my personal journey with you, as well as the personal journey of others, and to show you that anything is possible if you set your heart and mind to it. We are all unbreakable mompreneurs, and we are in this together. Okay, so school has started, and now you're trying to think, what can I do to get more business, right? Because as a mompreneur, we all need new business and we want new business. So what can we do? So I am actually going to give you a list of different things that we can do that are going to help you with marketing and promoting your business during the back to school season. So you're kind of behind the eight ball just a little bit because we should have been doing this probably a month ago so that you're ready. But back to school can go all the way through September. So you do have some time if you get started right now. So the very first thing is that you can create a seasonal campaign. So are you familiar with Canva? Amazing tool. They have a free version. Go ahead and pay for the actual pro because Canva has templates. They have tons of different things they can do. And it's super, super fast. And if you don't feel like you're really good at Canva, you can go to Freelancer or Fiverr and somebody can create it for you for 20 to 40 bucks. So it depends on what you want to do. If you have a child that enjoys designing things or doing stuff like that, great, you get to pay them. Because did you know, tax tip number one, not an accountant, just use it, is that if your kids work for you, you can pay them up to almost $13,000. Check with your accountant. I won't give you the specific number, but because things change every single year. But anyway, you can do a business write-off as long as your company's not paying them. Like I have multiple companies. So if you have another company that hires them and you pay them a consultant fee, then it's a tax write-off. So your child is earning money. So say that, for example, I have an 8-year-old. And so I've been paying her for the last 2 years, almost $13,000 for the work that she does for me. And believe it or not, she does a lot of work for me. And so anyway, that's $13,000 that she's earning, right? Well, by the time that she graduates high school at age 18, guess how much money she has in the bank? Let's just do the math. About $13,000 times 10 years is how much? You got it, $130,000. You think she's going to be able to pay for her college education with that? Heck yeah. Do you think she'll be able to pay for braces? Yes. And so it's tax-free money that your child gets only until they're 18 years old. So be aware of that and make sure that you're using that tax tip. Check with your accountant. There's some things that you have to be aware of. However, my point is if they can design things or do things, it's fun to be able to have them get involved in your business. So you're going to create a special back to school theme marketing campaign that offers discounts, promotions, or bundles targeted at parents who have more time to shop and engage during the school day. So the nice thing is if you are a promoter, you can get other people to help sponsor this. So for example, I'm a real estate agent. I might have a lender. I'm also a lender as well. So I might just sponsor myself, but you can have different people that also sponsor postcards or sponsor different, like if it's a carpet person, they're going to give, like now you're back to school, your carpet's a mess from the summer, you can get new carpet. So you might have a coupon or something where they can help sponsor or be willing to give a discount for you. So those are different things that you can do. You can partner with local schools or educational institutions to offer deals or services to the students, teachers, or parents. So the way that you can really get in is, hey, it's back to school. We know that you need X amount of money. So you can partner with people. You can do fundraisers or different things so that you are helping the school earn money or raise money. And of course, you put your name behind that. So it becomes a huge promoter. I remember actually before I became an agent, there was a Mexican restaurant that just got started and they came into the community like full throttle and they just with a huge bang and they went to every single school. And for the kids that were recognized, you know how you have those monthly children who are recognized for what, their good behavior or because they smiled great. It didn't matter. Every kid's going to get the award at some point during the school year. So they made this big hoopla, and then they give the certificate and they attach all these coupons to it at the end. Well, you can also help with that as well. So you can collaborate with the school to be able to provide them stuff. So if you own a restaurant, or if you own, a nail salon, or whatever it may be, if you're a massage therapist, you can collaborate and say, hey, get a free hand massage or get a free, whatever it may be. So that is something. I have my hair stylist. She does a back to school for haircuts. And so on one day, which is actually this Wednesday, she sponsors kids' cuts for free. And so those are things that you can do as well. Educational content. So if you have a business that you can provide value to parents during the back to school period, like, hey, let's work on your math skills, come to this thing, or, you have a Lego workshop, or whatever it may be, some type of workshop where they can be doing things to get ready to go back to school, or, free backpacks, or let's help kids in need. So come drop off backpacks, or come drop off this or that. Anything that can help with other children, you can do, but definitely education workshops, which teaches parents what they need to know, or how to get ready, or how to get your kid back on a sleep track because they're so used to staying up to 11 or midnight. And now they got to be getting to bed at 8 or 9 so that they can get up in the morning. So types of educational content that's going to help parents would be great. Social media engagement. So use social media. If you're not using social media, you're missing out. And especially there's different things that I'm happy to teach, which you can use retargeting, or how to make sure that you retarget your clients. I have a friend who is in marketing, and she's constantly sending me stuff that, spend $1,000 to do this, spend $5,500 to do this, spend $4,000 to do this. And do you know that if I go and I run a Facebook ad, it might cost me $80 for 2 weeks, and I can reach just as many people as it would have cost me $4,000. So to me, like the Facebook advertising or YouTube advertising, or you're creating reels on Instagram, those things are free, if not very low budget. And so if you use your social media, there's one mom that she keeps coming up in my feed. I don't know why, but she just is constantly showing how she gets her girls ready in the morning, or she's changing their diapers, or how she gets ready in the morning, or she does her morning routine. But every single day she's posting something. So if you're teaching about, if you're showing what you're doing, like if you're a painter, show your before and afters. If you are doing, your hair, like I said, you do the before and after, but every single day post something about what you're doing. And then parent focus workshops. So you can host a workshop or a seminar specifically designed for the parents that during school hours. So you can talk about topics that are relevant to business and their needs. So for example, I am going to invite local businesses, and I can teach them how to do Facebook marketing retargeting. And so that's that's something that I can teach them about their business. And something else, I mentioned in previous podcasts that I have a few autistic children. So how do you work with a child who has autism? Because if you do, and you know how this relates, but if you change anything in a child's routine in the morning, that could spell disaster to get that kid out the door for school. So making sure that, you have a routine that's set up, that your child knows that routine and that they can follow it. Getting school-age children involved, which we talked about in your marketing efforts. So we've kind of talked about, doing the graphic designing. My son does a lot of the editing for my videos. He loves that. And so that's how he earns money as well. And then having after school activities. So something that is related to after school. If your business has an after school activity, then you can highlight how you can offer, what you offer can enhance your child's learning. So for example, this seminar that I went to recently, the speaker got up and he was talking about these 3 10-year-old girls, and how, at 10 years old, they don't know that they need to bully or anything. They just know that they love what they do and they support each other. There's no competition. And so this mom does a theater singing type production. And so he was at this um, performance where these 10-year-old girls got up. And so as the girls are singing, they're like clapping for each other and cheering them on. So he shows us this whole clip. Well, then he ends up bringing the girls out actually on stage. So he flies them out from Tennessee. He puts them up on stage, and the whole crowd, I mean, it couldn't have been any better. Brian Buffini, I give you props for that, because it was just amazing what happened and how the crowd, it really did bring tear to my eyes, as well as pretty much everyone else. It was an incredibly, you had to be there type moment. But the mom, or then they bring out the lady who's in charge of that. And so if you are passionate about dance or singing or music or band or drums or whatever, and you enjoy teaching children how to become better singers or whatever, there's a lot of schools that don't have any programs. Like, we moved to a school where the previous school, the children had band from the time that they were in third grade till the time they were in sixth grade. There was a band. And so they taught the kids how to play their instruments. And it was very fun to go to those. Surprisingly, they were pretty good. Well, we moved to another school. They don't offer band. They only offer string instruments. And so like my kids never would have had the opportunity to play their musical instruments, which my son, he played the French horn from third grade until 12th grade. And that, honestly, I believe was a saving grace on a lot of things. So we moved to this school. There's no music program at all. And so many schools desperately need to have something like that. And so it's a small nominal fee. I think we paid $200 for the year for the band teacher. But the kids, it made a huge difference in the kids' lives. And so if you could do after school activities and sports, that's another thing that a lot of parents would love to put their kids in that, especially if they're working, right, moms? If you work till 5:00 in the afternoon, what do you do from 3:30 from the time the kids get out until 4:30 or 5? And so if you did an after school activity, that would be huge for the parents, and they would absolutely take you up on that. Virtual events, so webinars, virtual events that you can do aimed at helping parents prepare for the school year. So that, again, we've already talked about. And then doing some personalized offers, like marketing strategies based on the age and needs of the children. So if you have, like, I'm having a really hard time knowing that my son, this is his last year of high school, and it's really, I'm trying not to get emotional about it, but this is my little boy that, when we went through the divorce with his dad, that he came with me at age 3 and we drove to work together. And, we've been through a lot of stuff together. And to know that I'm losing him after this year to his new life that he's excited to start is really crushing my heart. So if you were to do personalized offers where it's okay, mom and son back to school night, or mommy daughter, or not mommy daughter, but like a dance for the moms and the sons, or a dinner, or whatever it might be, so that you can actually spend time and plan things with them. And then content partnerships, so maybe collaborate with other educational influencers or bloggers to do a highlight for your product and service for the entire school year. Email marketing, so making sure that you get a lead magnet that you can use. And then for back to school guides or product recommendations, like, hey, here's a great calendar that they can get, or here's a great backpack that we'd like to use, or do you want your kids to stay organized this year? Maybe I have a daughter that she would probably thrive with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday outfit, where there's little boxes that you can do, and then they put their weekly outfits so that they know and they plan, and so they don't have to look for anything. Because I have one daughter that's very particular on what she wears, and if she knew where all her clothes were for the week, that would probably be very helpful. So if there's a product out there you go that you can recommend. I think I just came up with a new product. I might need to come. I would be happy to sponsor and co-join if anybody wants to create that, if I haven't already. Community involvement. So these are the back to school events, the fairs, fundraisers. I love to do things like that, especially with my clients. So we'll do a back to school, or we'll do, some type of a fair, so that like a Halloween type thing. It's huge, and you can get people to sponsor that. You can do fundraisers. It's just to help people. A lot of people like to get together to do things like that. And then share success stories from parents who have benefited from your products or your services. So make sure that you're getting the testimonials. There is a program out there that it's like $100 a month, but you can do testimonials. But quite frankly, Google's free, Facebook's free. You don't need to be spending $100 every month. And then seasonal packaging. So you can do back to school packaging for your products, adding something that resonates with the theme of the year. So referral programs. So if you do a referral program that rewards parents for referring other parents to your business, that can help expand you. Those are huge. Like if parents trust you and they appreciate your customer service, they're going to talk about you, especially if it's something that they could really use at the time that all of this is happening. Bad business, that goes very quickly as well. So making sure that you have like affiliates, people going out there and recommending you, those are huge. Online advertising, so targeted online ads through social media, which we've already kind of talked about already, but that would be your Facebook, your YouTube, your Instagram. You can do a lot of targeted online. Have you ever like been watching something and then it comes back on and it comes back on and it comes back on? Like I have this guy that I've been with for 3 years, and so he has me dialed in, and it doesn't matter what I click on, his ads come up, and I'm already his customer, but it doesn't matter because he wants to be right in front of my mind at all times. So that's the online advertising. And then charitable initiatives. A lot of times, like if you donate a portion of your sales to a school or related charity or cause, that can go a long way. And parents appreciate it, the word gets out, and so you're likely to get more exposure as well. And then parent networking events. So if you were to host an event or a meetup for parents within your target audience that, hey, like I have a lot of clients that one's a hairdresser, one's a carpet person, one is a disaster relief person. And so one's a roofer, if I can get all these people together and try to create a sense of community, then who are they likely to refer as well? If I'm referring them, they're referring me. It's important to network. And I'm not talking about the B2Bs where it costs money. Like you can get together and do things on your own. So just making sure, I gave you 18 different ideas. Don't try to do all of them. Pick 1 or 2 or 3 and focus on those. And when you master those, great. Pick another 1 or 2. But don't try to overwhelm yourself with, I have to do everything because that's what she said. So that's not what I'm saying at all. It's just important to make sure that as this time of year is coming, things are kind of new and fresh because people are excited to be starting the new year. It's a great opportunity to get your business out there. So think of the things you can do. Like if you have a cookie business, great. Sponsor cookies at your kids' school where as they're coming into school, you're giving them away a cookie. So, it might be 800 cookies, might be 2,500, but how much, think about your cost benefit analysis. If each cookie costs me 25 cents, what's 25 times 800? Is it worth that? If you were to, like, how much would it take to get your business to be up and running and to be able to make up for that? I guarantee you there's probably a few parents that are like, oh, these are really good cookies. I want to take them to work with me. And so then they have your information. So that's where, now you don't want just the kids eating because they'll throw their wrapper away. So making sure that the parents, last week we did a come meet the principal where we got a new principal. So all the parents were there with the kids. That would have been a perfect opportunity, had I been on the ball and not out of town, that I could have easily said, hey, I'm happy to sponsor the popsicles. And I would put my little label on each one. And so the parents are going to see that. The kids are going to enjoy it. And there you go. I missed the boat. So those are things that you can start to do, especially maybe as Halloween starts to come. Think about if you feel like it's too late for back to school. Well, Halloween's coming up. And at my schools, they always do a Halloween school parade. So making sure that you think of something, talk with the school and say, hey, I want to sponsor this. Schools are going to love if they don't have to pay for something and someone's willing to do it. Usually they're going to be all over that. So making sure that you check with the right people to get the permission that you need. But other than that, get yourself out there and get in the community. Going back to that Mexican restaurant, they are huge now. There's always a huge wait. They've moved 3 different times and not, 20 minutes away. And people still, they have a huge following. They're still very large in the community. And they made this big deal when they were able to build their own building, and they owned it. They didn't have to rent anymore. And it's because they got their stuff out in the community and they're becoming what we like to call community market leaders. So for this school year, I hope that you come up with one goal, which the last episode we talked about business goals. This episode, I want you to come up with one goal that you can do to get out there in the community. I wish you the best of success in being a mompreneur. Have a great day. Remember, my beautiful moms, you are unbreakable. Keep shining, pursuing your dreams, and embracing the magic of motherhood. This is Sharice Walker signing off from the Unbreakable Mompreneurs podcast. Have a great day.